Hello, family. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy E, the Dividend Passport Bro, back with another video. Today is Sunday, the 13th, 2025. Man, it's a beautiful day outside. The weather is perfect, and it's not much of a what you call it, the pollen out here, the green stuff, because not too much rain. So when it rain like that, the trees they get all those branches and leaves on them that make all that green stuff. For you guys who don't live in the U.S., you don't really understand what I'm talking about. But if you live out here, you know exactly what I'm talking about with the pollen. But guys, like I like to say thanks to all of the new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Edwin. I am the Dividend Passport Bro. You know what I'm saying? And we make videos every single day. Now I was trying to get this video done earlier. My daughter been asleep for like an hour or so now. And I'm like, man, I need to hurry up and make this video. But every time I decide to hit the start button, somebody called me. My daughter mom called me, my boy called, my cousin is here. So I've been like kind of busy, but I'm like, you know what? We're gonna get to and make this video. This is our weekend review video. We just talk about whatever, any and everything, guys. Okay. And guys, as always, this is not financial advice. I am just a 52-year-old man that makes video about my portfolio and talk pretty much about my portfolio. Like I said, at some point we will be having other people come out here and have conversations that we're going to do a live. But I don't think we're quite there yet. I said I was going to do that when I got back to the U.S. because the plan was not to be back here with my 2-year-old daughter. But now that I have her and trying to take other people's time into consideration, we might have to push that back for a little bit. But guys, this is one thing I can say. If you want to make a video and share the video with me, right? And I can kind of post that on the channel to where I'm kind of talking on top of your video a little bit, but give you a chance to talk about your portfolio. If you want to do that, that's fine. We can do that. I don't have no problem with that. Um, you know, we're letting you guys, share as we continue to motivate others to invest in the future. Guys, okay, we at 2,300 plus subscribers. We got over 300 videos on this channel. You can see those numbers right there. And this channel primarily about financial independence, retire early, but mostly we talk about investing in yourself in the stock market. We also talk about some real estate here to kind of give you a balanced portfolio. Okay. Now we know we've been dealing with the down market the past couple of weeks, and things just starting to look up. But you know what? We can't get too excited, right? We just finished one week. It was an okay week. It wasn't as great, right? Margins kind of messed me up. I would end up losing not losing, it's not really a loss, but I had to sell 2,000 plus Misty, which are almost like $47,000 that was sold to cover our margins. And you know what? We survived and lived to fight another day. The portfolio is doing what it needs to do, and it's right now is to stand and fight. Okay, and the income is down, and but we still okay. We still okay. And one thing I've been talking about that I want to tell you guys, yes, I did my taxes yesterday, and all I can say, I don't have to pay. Okay, I'm grateful. That's why I tell you guys, you always need to have businesses and do things in your business name, which will benefit you in the long run. Okay, guys. So I'm grateful. I didn't have to pay anything, and I was like, when the guy told me like, "You good? You don't have to pay," I was like, "Oof." That's the main thing I want to hear because everything going on, right? This is the last thing I wanted to hear was, "Oh, Edwin, you got to pay some more. You got to pay some more money in taxes." So I was grateful for that. Okay, so guys, I always click on this strap because this is the portfolio I used to show all the time. Well, I used to show all my portfolio, but I kind of cut that out. Um, I'm still waiting for this portfolio to get approved, so we can start investing back into this portfolio. But what I wanted to say is, I know I've been talking about this property, this property, this property, this property, um, and I still don't have any news, right? I still don't have any news about the property because I'm still waiting to get approval on the property. But they haven't said yes, right? But I know that I can sell, I can pull funds out of my Roth to buy the property, and I cannot do it as a loan. Even I can do it as a loan, but to put the money back into the account, you can't really do it as a loan. I can pull the money out, but I can only put the money back in at 8,000 at the time, which is the requirement for my Roth when you hit 50. So I'm like, okay, if I pull out 50 grand plus, right? Um, it would take me about 6 years to put that 50,000 back into the portfolio, 6 plus, so maybe 7 years to put that money back into the portfolio, right? And by the 7 year mark, I will be at 59 and a half, and I'll be able to pull money out of that account again. Now, the other thing was, I know I've been telling you guys, is to build commercial properties. I don't want to buy. First, I say, you know what, it's just easy to buy, but if you build, you get things at a discount, right? Now, with everything going on, of course, maybe it's not a good idea to do it now, but eventually, as things get better, and this could be 3 or 4 years from now, after I'm very well established in my portfolio. Now, I do have real estate that I can sell that would push my portfolio, would skyrocket my portfolio. Now, my net worth would drop. Um, well, to tell you the truth, my net worth will not drop because whatever I'm selling, if I'm selling the value of my net worth will remain the same. It's just I won't have a bunch of real estate in my portfolio anymore. Everything will be in the market. Um, and buy some land, maybe one or two um, lots. What I'm going to build the first set of properties, right? And the goal is to do back to back, right? So the first year will be to do two properties, do them back to back, right? And as I do that back to back, meaning the reason I say back to back because as you build, you start the first phase, whatever you don't use in the first phase can go to the second property. Um, and then at some point, it's like, oh, maybe I need a third and a fourth, you know, thinking ahead, right? But that way, materials not going to waste. You can, you know, at least the first two have that and continue to build, right? To continue to build. So if you build one product, when that's done, you release it out and you go to the next product. And the goal is to build, started with sixplex, um, maybe bigger, 8 or 10 or 12, but have one nice place in there for me. So whenever I'm in the U.S., that's where I can stay. For now, I always tell my kids when I'm here, um, or my ex when I'm in the U.S. But build that place and have a place to stay in one of those 12 units, or if I have 6 units, I can stay in one and rent the other one, and 2 units will pay for the property itself. And the goal is to do it myself, right? The goal is to build the property with my own funds from dividends. So it might take a year, it might take 6 months, but if I build the property from dividends, right, that means I'm using my own money. So once I refinance the property, I'm getting my money back. Now, instead of taking a longer time to build the next property, Alexa is talking. So if I take that funds, if I refinance that property, take that money to put it into the next property, right? Now, all of the money that I've already invested is my own money. When I go and refinance the property, take that money out, whatever the percentage is, I will take that fund and put it into the next property, right? So the first property that I'm going to build, I'm going to use my margin, my dividends to pay for the property, to finance the bill. That means I'm using my own money, right? So I can instead rent that property, right, out and maybe let's say generate $10,000 a month from the from the 5 or the 6 bedroom, the 6 apartments, and then I have one apartment there for me, right? And then refinance that property, take the money from that property, put it into the next uh, unit. Now, going forward, I'm not taking um, the property generating 10,000 a month, easy, right? 10,000 a month. right? And I can go to the next one, or I can continue to say, you know what, my income is generating all this money, my portfolio generating all this money. We'll take that money and put it into the next portfolio, the next building, right? And at some point, we have to say, okay, well, this is enough. We start small, 666. Before you look, we'll do 3 buildings. Now, I'm only gonna be staying in one at some point, right? But you got 3 buildings. Um, you got about what that's six, that's 12 units, and then you got another 6 units. That's 18 units right there. And all of those will probably be under maybe 1.5 million, 1.6 million, depending on the cost to build. Um, Maybe more, maybe 2 million, whatever. But in the long run, especially when the property is new, especially in this area where I live, um, $2,000 a month for a 2 bedroom, 2.5 bath. Um, got your own parking space. Some units will have parking space in the building, in the covered parking. If not, all the units will have their own covered parking, um, and that come with the unit, or you can rent those separately. If you need covered parking, that's an extra income, and there's a lot of ways to make money. But this is some of the stuff I've been thinking about, right? And I think anything is possible, right? So I've already been considering selling what I have here, and go take 3 years plus to grow my income. If I sell everything, I go from spending 12 grand a month to spending less than 2,000 a month. Um, and in the process, I'll still be buying land here, um, for me to build on, have 3 or 4 lots, to build my buildings. And over time, when I come down, we can do could do a little bit at a time. Do the foundation. Um, while I'm here for 6 months, do multiple foundations in the properties, and then get to the next level. Um, at some point, it's like it's key. So at some point, it is key to focus on what we have going on. And I mean, it will take time, but over time, we'll be able to get to what we need to get and have a successful company. I think I already got the company already set. I think the only thing I need to do now is set up my management company, um, that will manage the property. So let's look at this number already. So as you can see, I like to use this tracker because it's completely different from the other tracker, and it only shows the monthly income. Of course, the monthly income right now is at 30,000, almost $32,000 a month. Looking at 7 grand a week. Daily is like $1,000 a day in income. But if you look at the hourly, right, the hourly dropped to $43.56 an hour. The yield on cost is still at 67.11%, and the yield is 89.99%. Okay, so currently the portfolio is down by $143,000, which is a big sum. We were over 200,000, and of course we gained a little bit back in the week, so that's decent. But of course, the income here is completely different from the other stuff. I've been checking this out for a while. Let's see what's showing the income. So Robinhood is zero. I still got some positions. I got 2 positions in there. It's holding one. I mean, there's no dividend. Then Fidelity should be over 300, which is correct. Um, they showed the income, but over 400. Most of the income coming from Fidelity, and then Charles Schwab. We are down on Charlie Schwab, to about 7 grand annual income, which is cool. So for like I said, for the overall of the portfolio, um, there's a lot to consider as we continue to build the portfolio. which is key. Building a solid um, a solid background to continue to. You know what? You guys already see this, right? We build a solid background. I need to increase my hourly because my income went down. The overall income went down. We were over 500K. Now we're down to 381,000 a year, right? And you know, this estimate is good, right? Because like I said, we can look at the other two estimates. This one will be somewhere in the middle. Um, but I like to use the other tracker. Um, if you look at the three, the other tracker will be in the middle. This one's on the high side. I think the other tracker is about 27, 26, $26,000. And the other tracker, this one is 30 something. This other one is 24, I believe, 22. But that doesn't count the Charles Schwab portfolio. Okay, guys. So remember, I mean, this is not financial advice. Okay, it just me trying to make sure that in and out, you guys understand that your investment is key. You can do real estate. There are people that do own real estate. For me, I do both, right? Um, my income, most of my income come from the market. My portfolio is my real estate portfolio is valued almost as much as my stock portfolio, but I get less income from my real estate portfolio that's valued the same. So I was talking to my cousin. I said, man, if I can sell both of my properties and pull $300,000, $400,000 into the market, I would be generating freaking another $30,000 a month coming into the portfolio because it's key to understand how much income you make every month. And I don't have to deal with tenant, because now I have to deal with tenant. But as I build this company that I'm planning on building, right, for my children, maybe, you know, um, oh, well, my daughter, mom, and I are back together. So maybe she will do that work and get paid a salary to do the management um, from whatever we are, right? That will be her job to manage the properties, and she can get a salary. She can get a pay every month, and then I can hire um, a contract. I mean, there's a lot of companies out there that you can pay to go and do maintenance work. Um, and then there's company that you can hire a person, right, that would do maintenance work. If I have like 8 or 9 units, buildings, then of course it probably be most feasible to hire somebody that will go to fix these things, right? But if it's a new building, everything is going to be on a warranty. So it's just scheduling people to come out and fix issues when they happen in the beginning until the first year or two, whenever it is, when the warranty expires. Then you have to deal with getting the stuff fixed. But that's the reason I want to get a new building. Right? I want to get new buildings because with new buildings, um, in the beginning is less. You don't have to spend as much cash because everything that fixed brick is covered under warranty, right? So guys, you see what I'm saying, right? If 30 grand a month coming into the portfolio, of course we know we're not going to get 30 grand this month. Right now, I think we're about 12,000 plus dollars in income in the portfolio. We're not even halfway to 30, right? So, except we have an amazing week. Except we have an amazing week coming up this week in the market. Then maybe we get more money in dividend, right? I think it's Tesla, the one that's paying. Um, Let me see. I think it's Tesla that's paying this week coming up. Let me check that real quick, guys. Patience, distribution schedule. I still drink Coca-Cola, guys. I'm addicted to the thing. So don't come for me. Distribution schedule. So we got Tesla, Whitebit. I think I got Tesla and Whitebit. I might have some Crush. I might have some Crush, but for right now, it's Tesla and Whitebit. And then the other week, I got Nvidia, DIPS, and I got some MARO and some PLTY, MARO. I got 4 positions in there. So as I was saying, I need to cut down on some of those. So might sell. I might sell one of these. Um, I don't know. I've been considering selling um, Nvidia or whatever. I've been considering selling Nvidia, and if I sell Nvidia, I can put that money into Palantir, PLTY, or MARO. I might have to wait to see what we're gonna get paid this week. I mean next week, and then after that, make that decision on if I'm gonna sell one of those. Um, one of those four, right? One of those four. So I can either sell DIPS and NVD and buy Palantir and MARO and Maro. So well, I'll be down to two. Because the following week I got Coney, and I think Coney is the only thing I have. Coney and Fiat. Coney and Fiat is the only two things I have in Group C. I know you guys are like, and what are you talking about? Let me bring this over so you can see. Right? So I have Tesla and SNOY and YBit. The three I have. I need to see what I am, what I'm here, what I have here. I might have to sell that and put that money um, in one of those other ones. I'll just leave it. And then this is one here. I have four. I have one MARO. I have Palantir. I have the IPS and NVIDIA. So I might sell one of these guys and move the funds into something else. And then here I only have Coney and Fiat. I used to have that, but I think I sold. I might still have some left in the portfolio. And then over here I have some XMCY. I have the XYZY, YYY, and Misty. So um, at some point I'm gonna sell uh, this guy and probably AIYY. But AIYY is kind of down right now, so I might sell up to where my account um, was before the thing started dropping. I might sell some of that, and to see. Right now, I need to get my income back up, and this will not really affect. It's not going to affect my margins because these guys are lower compared to Misty, that's like 50% plus um, in margin maintenance. Okay, so I'll move that back out the way. So, guys, as you can see, right, the goal is to get the number back up, but to do it safely. Now, I'm understanding margins a little bit more. I need to wait maybe another month or couple months, right? I'm still going to buy, but I'm going to do it very sparingly, let a little bit of time. If I get $20,000 into the portfolio, I might spend $2,000, maybe $3,000 for that month and let the rest of the money stay, especially not using any of my margin funds, right? Using funds that are not margin funds. Luckily, right, we almost finished paying all the bills for the month. The only bills I have to pay is my mortgages, right? And that comes right in time when I get paid for my regular job. So who says sometimes it's good to have a job? When I get paid for my regular job, I can use that money to cover those two mortgages, which is about $3,000 some dollars. And that should be good. And then I'm good for the rest of the month. And then we'll worry about the next month as far as expenses goes when the time get here. Okay, guys. So as always, guys, like I say, this is not financial advice. Remember to stay focused. A lot of people like come and say, "Oh, it's bad time for the high yield dividend." Okay, I just collected 8,000 plus on Friday. It's a bad time, yeah. My portfolio is down, but anybody else, people losing millions of dollars that don't get dividend, and they're not getting a nickel back into the portfolio. The only reason you see me say, "Oh, margin," because I'm getting freaking margin calls that I have to put money in my account. If it wasn't for that, I have to sell some of the stuff that I bought. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't give two shits whether the market was down or not because it wouldn't be affecting me, right? People are crying about the 401k, the retirement income is down. Do you see any dividend investor that is not on margin or have margin issues, margin call issues, complaining about the portfolio being down? No, we not, because we're reinvesting back into the portfolio the money we get, and next month that money gonna be more because we're buying things at a discount. People that don't have that are not dividend investors, those are the people who complain about my portfolio is down 100K, 200K. Those are people complaining. Like I said, I won't be complaining. Like I keep telling you guys, don't stop buying if you don't have issues with margins. If you don't have using margins, what do you care? If you got an extra 500 a month, a week, buy. Continue to buy. Look at the stuff you're buying. If you feel comfortable, buy them. Okay? Because these people that are investing in their 401k, I'm watching the thing. The guy like, my 401k is down. I'll plan to retire in 5 years. Dude, I can retire off $50,000 in my account and go live in freaking Colombia and live good life, stress-free life. You know that the best thing I think, like I was talking to my daughter mom today. I was like, me having my baby here, with all the stuff that's going on, it's like I'm more distracted because I have to deal with a 2 year old from morning to night. So I'm more distracted than anything else because I'm not paying attention as much as I would be dealing with the portfolio. Because when I sit down on this computer, she awake, she jumping right in my lap and she's trying to mess with the keyboard, see what I'm doing. So of course I can be trying to buy something, and she gonna hit something, and boom, I go buy more than what I can hit. So I have to be very careful with, you know, with that. So I don't log into nothing. If I'm on the computer and she's here, I lock that screen or I close what I'm in because I don't want her to come click because she's quick to be typing on the keyboard. But it's a blessing sometimes in disguise, guys. Remember why we're doing this. We're doing this for our family, our children. That's why we're doing this, right? People that don't have a kid, when they die, most of the time, they leave their stuff. Oh, my screen is all jacked up. I didn't keep nothing, did I? They leave or the screen went blank. All right, the screen went blank, so I can't see myself. So when they die, they leave the money to charity and all this other stuff. But we're not doing that. I'm not gonna work hard and have millions of dollars and die and give it to charity. No, I'm leaving it with my kids. Okay, so they can do what they need to do to be successful. We were at some point making over 30 some thousand dollars, close to $40,000 a month, and the market changed, and now we're back down to 20 some thousand dollars a month. But we know how. We have the know-how to make the money. So of course, we are in a learning process to where it's not a problem. It is not a problem for us to say, you know what, we're going to get rich. We know how to do it to get rich. We know how to get rich, and this is what we're going to do. So I'm able to get the screen back on, guys. I don't know what happened. I moved something under the desk and I kicked a cable or something, and that what happened. But we know how to get rich. We can do it slowly. You can get a lower yield stuff, you know, and you can have $1.1 million in your account, and you can live good with $1.1 million, paying you $40,000, $50,000 a year. You can live good with that. But I'm a little bit more aggressive. I know I don't need a lot. I don't need $10,000 a month. Now I do because I'm in the US. I live in a mansion. Right, I live in a big ass house. I got a big mortgage. I drive big cars. But I don't need all of that. That's why I got me a Tesla because I didn't want to buy gas. My Mercedes it take freaking 20 plus gallons to fill that thing up. And you do the math, it's three some dollars, whatever it is for premium gas. I have to fill up once a week, no matter what. If I'm driving locally, driving a lot, I gotta fill up once a week. My Tesla, I just plug that sucker in when I come home. When I left to go to the store, we're going to Costco. When my daughter fell asleep, we ended up coming back. I was like, oh, I'm at 37%. I plugged the car up. I might not leave again till tomorrow. We might leave to go out when she wakes up to go get some bananas because the girl loves bananas. But we might leave to go out to the store and get some stuff for her. But other than that, I don't have no other reason to go out. We have food. I cooked. Everything is straight. If she wake up, she got some mac and cheese she's gonna eat. Or she can eat some of the other food I cook. Some mixed vegetables with chicken and shrimp and stuff. She can eat that. She got a lot of teeth in the mouth, so she can chew. You know, or she can eat some oatmeal. There's food in the house. We're good. But she loves bananas. So if I don't get banana, I will be miserable tomorrow because every time she look up there what the banana is, nana, nana. She want nana. Guys, I keep telling this. We do this for our kids. In the beginning, you think you're doing it for you. I was telling my cousin, I said, cuz, how much is enough? He said, I don't know, man. Whatever you get there, you realize, shoot, I need a little bit more. I remember, man, I couldn't wait. I'm like, man, I can't wait when I start making $50,000. And when I was making $50,000, I was spending more than $50,000 because I was trying to impress other people. And I couldn't wait to make six figures. And when I got to making six figures, I was still impressing other people. And I'm like, man, I need to double this. When I started making over $200,000 a year, my life, my perspective changed. I'm like, I got money. I don't have to impress no MF body no more. What the hell? Who the hell I got to impress when I got money? Nobody. The way I dress, the way I deal with people, it changed. Because when I deal with people, I deal with them for who they are. It's no more like, oh, this person have to impress me. I got to impress this person. No. You saw, like, God, you see what I'm wearing right now? I'm wearing a little mustard shirt. It's a little thick because it's a little, the weather outside. It's sunny, but it's kind of cool. This is me. This is the life I live. I wear t-shirts because I have to have meetings in corporate America, so I wear t-shirts to talk to my boss. I got to respect that. And they like to be on video calls, so I have to have my camera on when I talk to my manager. And we have a meeting once a month. If I in any other meeting, my camera is off. Right? But I always have my t-shirt handy. If they're like, oh, Edwin, we can't see you, I'll be like, okay, hold on 1 second. I put my t-shirt on over whatever I'm wearing. That's cover my arm. So I can be professional for the camera. But I know once a week I gotta wear a t-shirt that cover my arm so I can have a professional meeting with my boss. And the past 2 weeks we haven't had a meeting. The week before that I was traveling with Edwin, so there was no meeting. And this past week there was no meeting because my boss, when it's time for the meeting, she didn't show up. Usually I'll be like, hey boss, everything okay? This time I was like, she was busy, she got whatever going on, she's my boss. She didn't show up for the meeting? Okay, she didn't text me and say, oh, I couldn't make it. She didn't cancel the meeting. She never joined the call. I was sitting there looking at the thing the entire time. So I'm like, okay, cool. That's why I'm saying I'm like, I got a job. If they say we need you in Ohio tomorrow, okay, I'm gonna pay for the ticket. Right? I'm gonna see the price of the ticket from here to Ohio. And then I'm gonna see the price of the ticket from Columbia to Ohio. Right? And I'll tell my boss, okay, well, I'm in Columbia. I'm coming back. Which portion of the ticket you're going to pay for you're going to pay for me to come from Columbia to Ohio or for me to come from Atlanta to Ohio? If she said, well, we're only going to pay for the ticket from Columbia to Ohio, from Atlanta to Ohio, guess where I'm flying? I'm flying to Atlanta first. And then I'm going to fly from Atlanta to Ohio. And let them, pay that ticket. Pay my hotel, whatever. and she said, no, there's no problem. You come back from, because they know I live in Colombia. They know I live in DR. So they're like, okay, no, you just come back, and then that's cool. We'll pay the flight. I can check a spare flight. I just come in with a backpack. Whatever I need to wear, I can throw in there. Maybe $500 round trip, more or less. For the backpack, maybe less than that. 300, 350 round trip from Colombia to Ohio. If I have to fly to Atlanta, for Atlanta, Ohio, the flights are probably the same. Because I'm flying Delta. I'm flying all the airline. But they're going to reimburse my money, so I'm flying Delta. And the thing is, to tell you something, I haven't done an expense report in probably like 5 or 6 months. Because they changed our policy that you have to have your stuff done every no more than a month behind. And sometimes I used to wait 3 or 4 months to do it. Now I'm like, man, to hell with it. It's $80 a month that I'm missing out on. And I'm like, man, I miss out $80 a month. That's a lot of money adding up, after the fact. But I'm like, it don't really matter to me. It's just $80. I'm good. But at some point, I need to. Usually, I would just do them and submit it anyway. And my boss would be like, Edwin, we're gonna pay for it this time, but we're not gonna do it again. And I'd be like, okay. He's like, oh, we can't pay for this, but we're not gonna pay you for this. I'd be like, okay, because I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's like going to the supermarket and looking at the price and be like, ooh. Now I've been going for a long time, so from paying $2.50 for eggs to coming back and eggs at $7, of course that's a sticker shock, right? It's like me buying a Coke, a case of Coke for $3, and then come back as $9. It's like I don't need to drink Coca-Cola no more. To hell with that. It's bad for me anyway, even though I love the stuff. But I'm not doing that no more. So guys, this is where you are. Okay, you can decide what you want to do. Right? We talk about a bunch of different topics today. But you can decide what you want to do because the bottom line, like I said, you are doing it for you and your family. In the end, we do it for our kids because when I was growing up, we had everything until there was a civil war and we had to leave. Right? My father passed away when I was 8, and my mama raised me and my brothers, all of us. And even when we came to the U.S., right? It was easy, but it wasn't easy because things just kind of happened, and it just happened, right? And now I don't want my daughter to deal with the same stuff. I tell my baby, the one that's in college right now, I said, baby, I don't want you to work. I want you to learn how to do dividend investment and all this stuff. She said, Daddy, but I need money. I said, but I send you money every month. Yeah, but I want my own money. Okay, so if you're going to go to work, that means your allowance is cut off. Because you're going to go to work for less than the amount of money that I'm sending you every month. What sense does that make? But she want to be independent. So, of course, I'm like, okay, you try it out before you get here this summer and let me know. But in the meantime, you start work, the allowance that you get every month, I'm going to stop it. Because I want her to think outside the box. Don't have that mindset that, oh, I have to work, I have to work. There's a lot of different ways to do stuff. And I'm trying my best I'm like, look, you don't have to go to school in Houston. I'm barely in this house. You have the whole house to yourself. Oh, you want to be away from your dad, but your dad is barely here. And you have your other 2 siblings here where you can be around that, do girl stuff. I need somebody that's going to be there for you, that's going to protect you. But this child don't want to listen. So, guys, I know I've talked about a lot of different things today on our Sunday Talk video. I do appreciate you guys taking the time to listen and watch the content, like and share, right? We will continue to do what we do. Like I said, hopefully tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm not wearing no red shirt. I'm wearing a green shirt tomorrow when I wake up. I got to take my cousin to the airport like at 5 in the morning. Painful, but I got to do that, right? And hopefully I can go back to sleep after I drop him off. But that's the plan tomorrow. Okay, guys? And if everything works out tomorrow, it's going to be another green day. And the portfolio is going to continue to grow. We'll get some more money back into the portfolio. I love you guys. Still blessed. We'll do this again tomorrow. Peace out.